Action.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Robin.
I'm Jerry.
And this is Savor at Home number
88.
Yeah. Jared, what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Thursday.
What's tomorrow?
Your sister's birthday.
It's my sister's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this Savor at Home is dedicated to her. And obviously, I chose one of her favorite whiskeys. I chose Barrel Seagrass. Yeah, what do you know about
this?
Barrel?
Not much.
You don't know anything about Barrel
don't
craft
think so.
spirits?
They're from Louisville, Kentucky.
They are. Yeah, they're located in Louisville, Kentucky.
And I would guess that they're known for their maturation in the barrel and doing some different things there.
They do different things. So Barrel Craft Spirits is a non-distiller producer. So that means if we were in Scotland, we would call them an independent bottler. But here in the US, we call them non-distiller producers. So all they do is they source whiskeys or rums. They also produce some rums from other distilleries and then do unique and interesting barrel finishings. They have a really cool maturation program. So yeah, and then they bottle those blends. And Seagrass is one of their continuous releases, along with Dovetail and Armida. We have those right behind me here, both of them.
We have 4 different barrels.
5.
5 different barrels.
Yeah.
Are they always blended? Or do they ever do?
They do a lot of single barrels. They
do.
also have a single barrel program. We have one of their single barrels
Okay.
here. Yeah, so it's really interesting. They have all these different really unique barrels. Some of them are blended together to create things like Armida and Seagrass and Dovetail, or they're released as single barrels. So for instance, what we have right behind me here is one of their whiskeys, a Kentucky whiskey that's finished in a Jamaican rum cask.
Ooh,
so
fun.
that's a single cask.
Fun. So
Very fun. It's really cool what they're doing because non-distiller producers, NDPs, tend to have a pretty bad reputation in the US, and this stems from like the 1800s of these rectifiers, doing terrible things.
rectifying with a W.
Oh, I see what you did. Yeah. But they were doing, not so great things with spirits and bottling it as whiskey. Now we have regulations in place, so that's not happening. But the NDPs still have that kind of negative connotation to them because of that history there. And there are a lot of NDPs that are kind of shady about what they do, right? They source from other distilleries and then claim it as their own and say that this is their great-great-grandfather's recipe that they dug up somewhere and they made it all themselves, when that's entirely a lie. We're seeing way less of that happening now as consumers are becoming more educated about NDPs. But Barrel Craft Spirits is super cool because they have a big focus on full transparency. Now, we don't know exactly where they sourced their whiskeys from for Seagrass, but we do know that it is both American rye and Canadian rye.
In this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So a blend of American and Canadian rye finished in
Martinique rum,
Yeah.
Madeira, and Apricot Brandy barrels.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And they bottle everything at cask strength. So no water added, no chill filtering. I think for even the single barrel bottle that we have, there's a little bit of char in there too, so there's like no filtering at all. Something interesting about Seagrass that you might enjoy is that for some of the bottles that have neck tags on them, they partner with the Ocean Foundation and donate a portion of the proceeds to the Ocean Foundation, where they're helping with conservation and restoration of seagrass.
No way. I love that. Is that why they named it this, or also because they think it tastes like the ocean? I guess we'll find out.
Before we taste, though, I do want to give a huge shout out to the
Please,
Patreons.
please.
Thank you guys so much for helping
welcome.
to support the channel. And if you, the viewer, would also like to support the channel so that I can do more tastings like this, afford more bottles and stuff, because, you know, you can never have too many bottles. I've got a link in the description below if you want to join our community over on Patreon.
It's fun. It's a fun community.
Some might say it's quite neat over there.
It's a neat community.
Yeah. All right, so let's taste.
Let me show them the color.
Show them the color. So it's not super dark. I mean, there is a rich color to it, but for an American whiskey, right, you assume that there's going to be a lot more of a dark caramel color, but this kind of has more of a lighter caramel color, I'd say, right? A little light copper to it. Now, I think that's probably because of the Canadian rye. Canadian rye does not have to be aged in new charred oak barrels, whereas American rye does. So.
And this is a pretty high ABV, coming in at almost touching 60%.
Yeah, it's 59.65% ABV. So like I said,
like
everything is bottled at cask strength.
And definitely picking up some of your more traditional rye notes.
I'm immediately getting some salted caramel sweetness right off the nose. So maybe because it's called seagrass, I'm getting that little like salty thing coming through.
Yes. But there's definitely some sweetness there.
I get some citrus, some sweet
caramel.
citrus notes. And you're right, there's definitely some of that like rye spiciness, but I think I say this probably every time we talk about rye. I often will get like a dill or a pickly thing with American ryes, and I'm not getting that at all on this. This is having more of like some dried herbs and a little bit of like grassiness, seagrass, grassiness on the nose.
I think I definitely pick up some of, I'd say, more dried apricot. But it's really nice. It's a really nice nose.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in for a little taste.
You're ready already? I am getting some dried fruits, and you're going for it already. Some like that citrus is almost like a dried candied orange peel and lemon peel.
Oh.
There's some like macadamia nut too. There's a lot on the nose. There's a little bit of heat too, but this is at just about 60% ABV, so I kind of expect that, and I've got my hand cupping my glass, but
Man, it has such a nice finish. You thought I was going to say mouthfeel, which it does as well. I was salivating. A little hot, but again, kind of what was expected for 60%. But a really nice finish of flavors, kind of still getting that sweetness, getting a little bit of the saltiness, getting the dried fruit, kind of really complements the nose.
I'm getting a lot more fruitiness on the palate, like dried fruits. Initially, what I get is the dried apricots and macadamia nuts again. And then I get a little bit more of a floral and herbal quality to it. But yeah, like the mouthfeel is amazing.
It's very good. This is something I want to have. I'm on a boat, sun setting. This is what I'm choosing.
There's also some baking spices, not just an herbal quality. Definitely clove, some cinnamon bark, toasted cinnamon bark.
Yeah, I can see that.
And there's a little bit of like a espresso bean finish. So with the barrel finishes, right, we have Martinique rum, which tends to have a little bit more of a grassy forward flavor profile. We have Madeira, which would give you more of those rich fruits and spicy notes. And then we have apricot brandy, which I would imagine would give you
some apricot
notes.
Dried fruits.
And then we have the American rye and Canadian rye, imparting those rye spice notes, right? Those baking spices and herbal notes, as well as some fruitiness. So I think This was really well done.
It was.
All of these bottles, like Barrel Seagrass, Dovetail, Armida, are all around $90. And I think definitely well worth it.
I'd say it's worth it.
Similarly for their like single barrels. But yeah, so for $90,
Worth it.
definitely worth it.
Yeah, pick it up, especially if you like ryes and you want something a little different, like a fun rye.
For sure.
Might be breaking this out on 4th of July.
We broke it out for my sister's birthday.
Might break it out today. Drink
So,
this today.
happy birthday to my sister.
Happy birthday, Keri.
And if you guys enjoyed this video,
Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell
because we'll be back next week, right?
with some more Savor at Home.
Oh, you wanted me to say it at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all right. Where's your boat?
On water, definitely.
Are you on the ocean or a lake?
The
A
ocean.
river?
The ocean or a salty lake. You gotta pick.
I don't have it. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. We'll skip that part. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.